In a briefing Thursday at the Pentagon, top defense and Air Force officials said they're ready for a new round of bidding on the KC-X tanker program. The bidding sets in motion the Air Force plan to select a builder for the KC-X to replace its aging fleet of aerial tankers.
First, it emphasizes competition. We think the structure of the competition we're putting forward today will result in a very strong competition, and that competition will lead to value for the taxpayers and a good result in terms of warfighting capability for our men and women in uniform.
The renewed effort to move forward on the KC-X tanker program comes as Air Force officials pledged to get the rebidding process right, following concerns raised last year that put the tanker program on hold. Air Force Master Sergeant George Maurer reports.
The renewed effort to move forward on the KC-X tanker contract comes as Air Force officials pledged to get the rebidding process right, following concerns raised last year to put the tanker program on hold. Defense Secretary Robert Gates recently gave the green light on a new round of bidding in the KC-X contract, promising to keep a close eye on the process. The go-ahead means the Air Force will seek bids on an initial contract for the KC-X to replace an aging fleet of KC-135 aerial refueling tankers. Last year, in an earlier round of bidding, the contract was awarded to partners Northrop Grumman and the European Aeronautics, Space and Defense Company, or EADS, to build their version of a new tanker. That award led to a protest from rival bidder Boeing, which was also competing to provide a tanker replacement. Boeing said the Air Force bidding process was flawed, and some of their concerns were backed by government investigators. And that prompted a move by Defense Secretary Gates to hold on the tanker selection until a new administration came to office. Under the revamped bidding, the Air Force seeks to award the KC-X contract, which calls for delivery of more than 170 new tanker aircraft. Reporting from the Pentagon, I'm Air Force Master Sergeant George Maurer.
A senior Defense Department official says President Barack Obama's new missile defense system will provide better protection against emerging threats. Michele Flournoy, Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, testified Thursday before the Senate Armed Services Committee. She says the change from a ground-based system was necessary because circumstances are different now than the one recommended in 2006.
First, we now have a rather different intelligence picture, and secondly, we have made major strides in missile defense technologies in just the last few years. We are now in a position to put a far more effective missile defense system in place more rapidly than just a few years ago.
Also testifying Thursday was General James Cartwright, Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He said the Joint Chiefs strongly support the new plan. Well, al-Qaeda's presence has been considerably diminished in the Central Command's area of operation and around the world since 2007. This according to General David Petraeus, commander of U.S. Central Command, speaking at a symposium held at the Marine Corps University in Quantico, Virginia.
I think that if you look at what's been done to al-Qaeda in the Fatah, and now I'm talking about al-Qaeda and transnational extremists in particular, that there's been a diminution of their capabilities, of their assets, and so forth.
General Petraeus said that even though al-Qaeda's presence is diminished, that does not mean that efforts have been reduced. He added the U.S. military has proven its capability to handle the task and possesses leaders who have demonstrated the kind of flexibility and adaptability required to succeed in irregular and counterinsurgency warfare. A study led in part by the U.S. Army has led to a breakthrough in research to find a vaccine for the AIDS virus. Officials in Thailand announced Thursday the vaccine cut the risk of becoming infected with HIV by more than 31%. Colonel Jerome Kim with the U.S. military HIV research program helped lead the study, which tested the vaccine on more than 16,000 volunteers. Well, coming up next on Around the Services, base security. How service members are using technology to ward off possible threats. But first, salute to our troops. See how the Rockettes are helping make this holiday season special for military families. Stick around. Sergeant Ted McDonald is back with more.